A final from Birmingham, the final game of the night on Saturday, as Alabama wins by 22, 73-51 to advance to Louisville in the Sweet 16. They're going to play San Diego State. That's the only Sweet 16 matchup that is set right now. Brandon Miller goes for 19 points, SEC Player of the Year, after a scoreless opening round game. Javon Quinterly leading the way with 22 points as Alabama rolls into the Sweet 16. All right, so Alabama moving on to the Sweet 16. Back here with Adam Finkelstein. How did Alabama do it? Because really, Maryland didn't put up much of a fight here.
They did it with defense, quite frankly. And you know, it's ironic because people watch Alabama play. They think about the offense. They think about the fast pace, the transition, the three-point shots. They're the third best defensive team in the country, and they showed you why tonight because they got after it. They did a terrific job defending inside and out and just put a lid on the rim all game long and really reminded people that they're just as good, if not better, on the defensive end as they are on the offensive end.
What concerns do you have about Alabama in their next game for San Diego State? Because San Diego State, as you know, this is a team that likes to slow things down, slow the tempo down. Who's going to dictate the tempo might win this game. What do you think of this matchup?
Yeah, it's absolutely a battle of tempos, but I think it's also going to be a battle of physicalities. Remember how many young kids Alabama plays up front, not just Brandon Miller, but you also got Noah Clowney, some other young players versus San Diego State, which is old, physical, gritty team, and they are going to try and not only slow it down, but make it as physical and chippy a game as possible. So it'll be really important for the Alabama front line, the young front line, to play through that type of contact and be able to sustain 40 minutes of productivity.
Alabama rolls on to the Sweet 16. The last overall number one seed to win the NCAA tournament was Louisville in 2013, and that is exactly where Alabama is headed, is to Louisville to play San Diego State. As for Maryland, they were not going to be, they weren't expected to do really anything, right? They beat West Virginia in the opening round. If they play this game in College Park, maybe it's a little bit close. They only lost one game on their home floor all season long. But in terms of the big picture of the Big Ten, look, I'm not expecting Maryland to hold the banner here. Really, I covered Maryland for years. I still think of them as an ACC team, and I get it going over to the Big Ten. But big picture here, right? The Big Ten, 2-6. In the big dance. The only teams left, Michigan State and Indiana, that are holding the banner. I mean, it's just been another disappointing year for the Big Ten in the NCAA tournament.
I don't disagree with that, but I also say that's not on Kevin Willard.
No, it's not. This is not. Let's make that clear.
Yeah.
This is not on Maryland, but it's another knock on the conference. And I didn't expect Maryland to get out to do anything in this game.
Right.
But when you talk about big picture in the Big Ten, the two teams left, I guess if I told you at this point the two teams left were Michigan State and Indiana, what would you have said to me?
Let's see what happens tomorrow.
Right.
Because, we may just be looking at one, we may be looking at none. But so I think the Big Ten, certainly a disappointing 3 days of the tournament, the real tournament, at least when things are going in full speed. But for Maryland, for Kevin Willard in year one to get into the tournament, to win a game, to advance to the weekend, I think they're ahead of schedule. And you know what really struck me about the bench was seeing the tears of those kids. In this day and age, where everybody's in the transfer portal before they're on the bus, that Maryland team has buy-in. And they've got buy-in locally on the recruiting trail, and Kevin Willard is in the process of building something there that is going to have legs and it's going to have longevity. And I think that, today it wasn't a close game and it wasn't the way the season wanted to end, but they are ahead of schedule. This was a very strong first season under Kevin Willard for this Maryland program.
All right, so Maryland heads back to College Park. Alabama heads to Louisville. Again, they're going to match up against San Diego State. And as the bracket shakes out here, Adam, San Diego State, that's a winnable game. Mm-hmm. Move down the bracket here. Creighton and Baylor will play the winner of Princeton. So we'll see what happens there. Is the resistance Baylor for Alabama? Where's the resistance to get to the Final Four here?
I think it's whoever comes out of that Creighton-Baylor game. And listen, I'm not going to sleep on San Diego State or Princeton because they're both in the Sweet 16, so they deserve our respect. But people forget Creighton, although they got off to a really slow start to the season, they came into this year being billed as a potential Final Four team. They are a dangerous team. The backcourt at Baylor is as good as any in the country. They are capable of shooting their way to win on any given night. So either one of those teams are capable of posing a threat to Alabama, and that becomes even more so the case if Brandon Miller's groin acts up. He seemed to be healthy tonight, but groins can really kick in at just about any time, and when they do, it's very problematic right away.
It's hard to say that anything surprises us anymore, especially when now in the last 5 years, we've seen 2 16 seeds knock off a 1 seed. Would you be surprised if Brian Dutcher's Aztecs knocked off Alabama?
I would be.
You would be?
I would be surprised. I don't know that I would be shocked, but I would be surprised. I'm not the betting guy. I'm not the line guy in this show.
Don't need you to be.
But I would think that Alabama is going to be a heavy favorite in that one.
They certainly will be. I don't think it's going to be double digits, but I think they will be a favorite for sure. I guess I would be surprised if San Diego State beat Alabama. I like San Diego State, but the Mountain West is not great in the Sweet 16, and Alabama is trying to carry the torch here for the SEC as the #1 overall seed. We'll see what happens, but the one matchup is set. Alabama and San Diego State in the Sweet 16. You'll see that game in Louisville, and you can see that game on the March Madness Live app. You can download it on your phone. You can get it on your computer, your tablet, whatever you like. You can watch the March Madness Live app. Download it today. Watch second round action continuing on Sunday.
Do you want a sports network that delivers everything that matters about the game? The highlights, the picks, the instant analysis, no yelling, no fake debates, no politics. Hit the subscribe button and never miss a moment.